Hi, it's Jessi, and today I'm reading The Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson. So, Stormlight Archive is huge in the fantasy genre, and I'm probably the last Wheel of Time fan in the world to read these series. Actually, I think it's starting to go more the other direction now, where Sanderson and Stormlight fans are discovering Wheel of Time. But I put this off for a long time for a very specific reason. I hate starting a series and waiting for books to be published. 90% of the time, I never finish the series if it's not already all published and I can't binge read it. Like, there's just this thing that happens where when I pick up the next book in the series, I'm not interested anymore. Either I've grown out of it, which happened a lot when I was in middle school, high school, and like growing a lot, where I would just age out of the series, which shouldn't be a problem anymore. But a lot of times I just forget what happened in previous books, and unlike a lot of people, I don't care for rereading. I'm trying to get into rereading, but it's not something I really do a lot of. So I end up kind of with this weird thing where I just never finish series if they aren't already all published. I'm trying to get better at it, and in the past couple years I've started a couple series unintentionally without being able to finish them, either because I didn't know they were finished or I wanted to buddy read it or whatever. Stormlight Archive is meant to be 10 books long, but broken into two 5-book stories. And 4 of the first 5 are already published. So I'm thinking if I really pace out the rate at which I read these, I don't know, maybe I'll only have to wait a year for Stormlight 5. Because Sanderson's pretty fast. So I figured, because I'm one of the last newbies to Stormlight Archive, I would kind of vlog my experience video diary style. So this is going to be a little more formal than vlogging because I'll like sit down regularly to talk to you, and it'll be more in this area or like this style, but a little less formal than say like an actual review. And the idea is that I will update you every like 50 pages. I'll come and tell you what I'm thinking so far, and that I will post these for every sections. This is broken into parts, and so when I finish part 1, which should finish around 194 pages of this chunker, is what you are watching now, and then I will do that for each of them. So hopefully you guys are as excited to hear my thoughts as I am to finally read this and share my thoughts. So I'm gonna get started. Same day. I am on page, they don't tell you chapter 61. So I just finished chapter 2, which was Kaladin stuff. Okay. So far the prelude was really confusing, but really interesting, very intrigued. The prologue itself was also confusing, less confusing, and I loved the fight scenes with, how do you pronounce it, Seth, really fascinating fight scenes there. I like the way it becomes, instead of this 2-dimensional thing, it becomes 3-dimensional. I really enjoyed that. So 2 chapters of Kaladin. I'm not sure, I mean he's noble, but he's like too noble to the point where he almost stops being interesting, but like clearly something's gonna happen. I like the little spren with him. I think that's adorable. And I'm really intrigued. I don't really have a lot to add right now. But I'm super into it and I'm gonna keep reading, but I might just do like an update every day if this is how much I'm gonna end up reading daily, because I'm probably gonna read another chapter or 2 before bed. So I'm really into it so far. I've read another 50 pages. I just finished chapter 5. At this point, I've now met Shallan, and I've had 2 Shallan chapters and another Kaladin chapter. Quickly to get Kaladin out of the way, I don't really think I have more to add about him. I think he's being conflicted, and that's making him interesting, but I do just think he's kind of falling in that too noble to be fun category. That sounds weird. I'm just not sure how I think about it. I think he's a great character. I think he's interesting, but it's a little bit boring and predictable. That, like, I just know he's gonna do the right thing. I feel like I should have seen it coming that he was going to be sent to the front. I don't know why I didn't see that coming. But like, that's cool. I think once we get to see him on the battlefield, it might be a little more interesting again. And I think maybe learning a little bit more about this background of the people he's failed might be interesting. Even learning why he wanted to be here. Like, is it, I don't know. So I think there's some things there that might become interesting. And I like him. I just don't know if I care yet. On the other hand, Shallan, I don't like. I think there's this really interesting contrast that's happening between Shallan and Kaladin, where they both have lost so much, right? But the difference is Shallan is this privileged little princess who turns out her estate is broken, boo-hoo, I need to go figure out how to make more money. But like, it's hard to feel sympathetic for her when she's literally pulling out a bag full of money. Like, and she like straight up talks about how she doesn't understand the value of money. She's just so privileged and spoiled. On the other hand, like Kaladin is like never was privileged, and like things have just gotten worse for him, but they were never great. And so like his perseverance is much more interesting to me than Shallan's attempts at maintaining or getting wealth back for her family. But I think she's interesting. She's kind of reminds me a lot of Lady Trent. Probably just because it's the whole female natural historian thing. I think she's totally different because like she's from a society where this is completely normal and within the realm of reason for women to be doing. In fact, maybe even expected for women. So clearly there's like a huge difference there, but her like sketchbook and stuff just kind of gave you Lady Trent vibes. I'm really curious, and I hope it gets explained, but what is this whole safe hand thing with the women? Like, is it just like, I mean, obviously I'm sure ultimately there was some reason for it, but is it to the point where the society just does it because of like tradition and propriety? Or is there like a legit reason like women hold some weird power in their left hand? I'm really curious about that, and I want to know what happens, because they talk about like girls don't do it. It's only women when they reach a certain age, so I'm super intrigued by this. Because world building stuff really kind of just fascinates me. Obviously, because that's why I read Sanderson. Also, the Spren, real weird. I'm not sure how I feel about them. I like the idea of like wind Spren and brain Spren are fine, because that's like they're basically just like nymphs. They're basically just like nymphs at that point. But like the emotion-based ones make me uncomfortable. I don't like the idea if I'm feeling a certain way, these creatures are just gonna show up to show everybody that I'm feeling that way. And so far it's only been for negative things like fear or pain or rot. Like, I don't know, are there like joy Spren? Are there? I'd like to think there are, because I'd rather it wasn't just negative things, but even like the idea that like wind Spren, like that's a relatively negative thing. I don't know. It's kind of making me think in Nightshine, one of the world building elements was that like all of the like things had spirits. So like rivers have spirits, flowers have spirits. So the Spren kind of make me think of that, which is totally fine. But again, the emotion thing, I don't know how I feel about that. So, yep, still really enjoying it. Hoping tonight I can update you again with another 50 pages, because I really need to catch up to my friend who is on chapter 9, which is like way past where I am. That's not that far back, actually. That's only another 70 pages, so actually I hopefully will catch up to him today. Okay, see you in a bit. Another 50 pages down. I've lost track of how many chapters from whom we've gotten. Kaladin has gone on his first bridge run. That's where we're at in his story. And Shallan just got accepted by Jasna. I'm saying it that way. So things are kind of settling, I guess, for both of them right now. Like, they're getting to where they're going, if that makes sense. This is probably going to be my last update before I finish this, I think, because I only have like 20 pages left. Not even. Yeah. I only have like 20 pages left before I finish this. I don't know if I'll include the first set of interludes with this section. Yeah, I'll probably include the interludes with this, so you'll probably get one more update from me. Anyway, let me actually talk about the book. I'm starting to actually kind of like Shalyn. I still think she's super privileged and spoiled, but I think she's starting to kind of, we're getting to see more of her, so she's becoming more, we're getting to see more of her, so she's becoming a little more interesting to me. I still don't know if I like her per se, but I'm more interested in her. Her memory thing is fascinating. Like, especially because the way it's used now, fantasy authors, that whole capitalizing special words thing definitely is giving me some sort of clue, but there's something going on with her whole capturing, collecting people. I don't know how I feel about that. But that's interesting. And then the other thing I was talking with my friend I'm buddy reading with about, she's got that, and then Kaladin has his luck. And both of those seem vaguely supernatural. I mean, granted, we haven't really gotten to see Kaladin's luck. Well, I guess, yeah, no, we did, because in that first bridge run, he's in the front and he didn't get shot. So his luck seems similarly fantastical. So it'll be interesting to see if they have some sort of latent abilities they don't know about. Also, I love Syl. I think she's a darling, and I love her. And I'm really curious about her, mostly because the Spren in general have me super confused. So the fact that there's this Spren that magically somehow got powers, I don't know, or got sentience, I guess is the way to put it, is just wild to me, and I'm confused by it. So, yeah, so that's where I'm at now. Alright, this is a really quick update for my final one for this reading diary. Not much to add from what I said last time, other than I'm happy Kaladin's kind of got a purpose turning things around. He was getting really hard to read his sections because it was just sad. So I did read the interludes, and I don't have a lot to add other than I'm confused. Well, I see where the second and the third one fit in. So the second one obviously is about Shalyn's brother, who is disturbed. And then the third one about Seth, and all I really have to say is poor Seth. It sounds awful. The first one, though, I'm not quite sure what that is, other than I think that the fisherman guy that they were talking to is the guy they're looking for. I just got that kind of vibe. Anyway, that's it for part one of The Way of Kings. It's all the way over there, and I'm not going to grab it, but make sure you subscribe if you want to see the rest of my thoughts as I go through the series, and leave a like or a comment below to let me know that you're enjoying this and want me to keep recording my thoughts. Bye.